Good morning, everybody. I'm Michael Porter, and I'm joining you from Harvard Business School. I'm sorry I can't be there with you to celebrate and participate in this 20th annual Porter Prize celebration. This is a prize that has been going on for many, many years, and I'm very, very proud of what has been accomplished, and I'm very proud of all this prize has done to enhance the competitiveness and vitality of the Japanese economy and Japanese industries in many cases. I'm also proud of all that this year's winners of this prize and those that applied but didn't win this time, hopefully you'll win next time, have accomplished. Before we recognize today's winners, I want to thank the selection committee and the prize organizers at Hitoshibashi University, including Hitoshibashi ICS, Hitoshibashi University Business School, for all of their incredible work. This prize would not exist and would not have achieved its impact without the deep cooperation with Hitoshi University over many, many years. I'd also like to thank the sponsors of the Porter Prize that have provided the financing that's allowed the hard work to be done, the interviews, the selection process, the data collection, all the things that were necessary to make this work. And I also want to, with great affection and great appreciation, thank my colleague Hiro Takeuchi, who used to be the dean of ICS, and who wrote a book with me on Japan called Can Japan Compete? Which actually led to the concerns about the nature of competition in Japan, how Japanese companies were competing, and why they had to broaden their approach. And it was that book, published some years ago, that really was the genesis of this prize, because we understood that Japanese companies were primarily succeeding in the world because of their cost and quality advantages. Japan invented TQM, the Toyota production system, and that really gave Japanese companies a tremendous competitive edge for many, many years. And we all remember those years when the quality of Japanese cars was so much better than the quality of American cars in terms of defects and things that didn't work when you bought what was supposed to be a new car. What happened, however, as we studied the evolution of the Japanese economy, was that there were limits to the traditional Japanese model of competition. Yes, TQM and Toyota quality were great. Japan got a big surge in the international economy because of those innovations. But today, others have caught up. Lots of people studied the Toyota production system, and we have all kinds of companies being really good at this and having learned everything they could about how to improve quality and improve innovation and improving efficiency of whatever they do. In fact, the TQM model of Japan actually has spread to our hospital industry in America. Many hospitals are applying these techniques to try to get more efficient in how they deliver healthcare. So Japan has made a major impact with these ideas, but these ideas themselves are now not enough. And Japanese industry particularly had to move beyond just competing on quality. And the only way to do that successfully is to compete not just on quality, but on innovation and on having a clear strategy, having for each business really a clear competitive advantage, a clear way of being differentiated to the other competitors. And it was that aim that the Porter Prize was really created to stimulate. And every year we would reach out to many companies, ask them to apply, and really be judged on whether they had moved beyond TQM. And we're now really competing on strategy, innovation, differentiation, and the things we know are necessary to really win in the long run. This year we have again, another group of amazing winners. Milpon Company Limited, Rakuten Bank Limited, Toradol Holdings Corporation, and Miragami Udon Business Unit. That's a business unit of a larger company. Finally, the other winner this year is Yahoo Brewing Company, that has been a real innovator and differentiated how it competes in its industry. These companies have broken out of the traditional total quality model yes, they have good quality, but they have much more. And they're offering more advantages that are really doing them justice in gaining market share and improving markets. What we all have to face, all of you here, in competition is competing in a changing nature of competition in the world. Competition is relentless. It just keeps improving. It keeps getting better. New approaches are innovated. New technologies become available that will drive new ways of competing. And the companies here in Japan that are going to do well are going to have to do that. They're going to have to be companies that think that way. They think strategically about how to be not doing it the same way people have always done it in their industry in Japan, but in finding new ways to actually do it. And all those companies I just named are great examples of that. We're celebrating companies that have succeeded in innovating to meet and shape the changing competitive landscape. We're living in a world today where to really compete and be efficient, you have to become increasingly digital. The old model doesn't really cut it in many, many businesses. We also are all collectively experiencing a global pandemic, and that's true in Japan as well. To compete successfully today, we have to understand how to deal with this pandemic in a way that doesn't erode the innovativeness and the quality and the ability to meet customer needs of our particular industries. The pandemic has created a lot of social issues that everybody's having to deal with, and again, the companies that are taking advantage of the fact that there are these issues and working to solve them, those are the companies that are starting to win more and more today, and those are the companies that we're celebrating today. A final thing that's part of changing competition today is the whole idea of corporate purpose. It used to be that in business we thought very, very narrowly about shareholders, shareholder value. That was the mantra. And of course, we need to worry about shareholders using capital efficiency, earning a profit, good profit. But now we can't just do that. We can't stop with profit. We have to go beyond profit. And what that's done is it's expanded the boundaries of what business really is. And increasingly, we're having to look for new ways of competing, new dimensions on which to compete from the more traditional ones. And at this moment in history, the most powerful new way of competing is really competing on purpose, having a purpose, doing something that matters, and that increasingly is going to be about dealing with social issues, social needs, social gaps. Those are the big problems of the world these days. Everywhere we go in the world, we have all kinds of issues with health, with education, with countless societal problems that we're struggling with. Our governments are not necessarily delivering the answers to how to deal with those problems. What we're seeing is increasingly business is becoming a major player in social change. Not to be philanthropic, not to be generous, but to actually create competitive advantage. If you can, as a company, be a real leader in use of energy and minimizing emissions, moving faster towards climate change, that saves money. That makes you more competitive. If you can deal with those kind of societal issues that we have in so many areas today, this creates a new dimension of competition on which companies can excel and which actually increases their profits. So many people today are criticizing capitalism, and they're saying capitalism, because it's based on profit, is not a good thing. Capitalist companies are going to try to not pay high wages. They're going to try to do all kinds of things that will limit health insurance. There's all kinds of criticism how the profit motive makes business not a good citizen in terms of advancing our society. But actually, it turns out that we know that that's actually upside down. We know that the companies that are the best at addressing these very difficult societal needs, like access to the financial system, like good quality health care and health insurance, the companies that can do that are winning, and they're very profitable. And and we have all kinds of new things that we're having to deal with, like COVID and climate change and all sorts of other issues. And there's a moment now where the basis of competition and the nature of competition in business is actually looking very differently than it has historically, and where this whole idea that business is bad for society is starting to hopefully ebb away. There's going to be suspicious people for a long time. Companies have done some pretty ugly things over the years in terms of having negative social impacts, but I think those days are coming to an end. One other thing we find is when we talk to consumers, this mindset has affected consumers. Today, consumers are increasingly concerned that the products and services that they're buying are important. They're authentic. They're making a difference. People don't want to buy things that are just making our problems worse. And consumers have been very concerned about environmental sustainability of their garments. They've been very, very concerned about healthy food and healthy nutrition. All these things are affecting consumers now, and that is creating an even more powerful incentive for companies to start to change how they compete. And this the same problem is going on in Japan, and the Japanese companies that are going to be the winners of the future are the Japanese companies that can understand this as well and pursue this approach. Commitment to societal engagement, to societal responsibility, to tackling the most important problems that are affecting citizens and reducing the quality of life. This is the opportunity, and this is the imperative now for businesses to really thrive. And those of you that have been selected for this prize are among the many companies in Japan that are starting to pursue these dimensions, and we're so pleased and proud of what you have accomplished. I hope that the Porter Prize will continue to have the same impact by really subjecting companies to a strategic assessment of how they're competing, to reward companies that are not just doing the same thing everybody else has done, but competing in new and different ways. By rewarding that thinking and by motivating companies to change what they do, we hope that this prize will continue to be a powerful way of inspiring companies and driving innovation for many, many years to come. So thank you all for your participation in the prize. One of the things I've learned about Japan is that, in Japan, if you apply for a prize, you really want to win, and not everybody can win. And we've had Japanese companies who have now applied twice and 3 times and 4 times, and they keep getting better. That's what we need. Hopefully this prize will motivate all of us, whether we've won this year or not, to keep getting better. And that is a thing about business that is the truism forever. It's a long game. It's not 1 year. It's not one idea. It's the ability to continue to move the needle, make your company better, understand what customers need over time as those needs evolve. And the Porter Prize companies have been real leaders in that over the years. And I'm so sorry I can't be there with you and see so many friends who have been prize winners in the past that have continued to make us all proud that they were actually a recipient of this prize. So we've come a long way. We've got a lot of incredible companies. And I look forward to seeing these strategy examples and this innovation for many, many years to come. And congratulations to all of you. And I hope that you'll not stop now, but continue to move this battle forward. It's very important to the state of our society today and this year, 2020, and we got to keep doing it. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the ceremony. And I will look forward, hopefully, to being there personally next year.
はい、ポーター先生のメッセージをご覧いただきました。あれはポーター先生の研究室で取ってくださったものです。3つおっしゃっていたと思います。 デジタルが大事になっているということ、それからパンデミックへの対応は必要なんだけれどもユニークさを失わない形でやってほしいということ、そしてパーパスの競争が起きているということですね。社会的課題がますます顕在化している中でパーパスの競争が大事になっていると、しかもこれは消費者のマインドセットの変化に支えられているので非常に強力な競争の軸になるということをおっしゃっていたと思います。